Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. Today I'm here with Aidan and we're going to be ranking our top 5 most anticipated Phase 5 projects. So let's get right into it. So what have you got at number 5?
At number five, I have Captain America: New World Order. I think it's going to be a really good film. I know many people probably don't want to see it. I know it's not probably in people's list of most anticipated Phase 5 projects, but overall, I think it's something different to what we've seen with the other Captain America movies. We haven't seen a different Captain America other than Steve Rogers, and I think Sam Wilson is going to be a great Captain America. Only problem with it, though, with all the rumors about how many people are going to make a cameo in it, like the amount of cameos that are supposed to be in it, I think they should keep it strictly based more on himself, more on Captain America, and not focus on the cameos as much. I think it would be good to start off the Avengers in this film, maybe as a post-credit scene or right at the end to fight off whoever the villain's going to be, because the amount of villains that are rumored to be in this film is unbelievable. With
Yeah.
the leader and Red Hulk, there's not really one set villain at the moment, which might damage the story a little bit. But overall, I think it is a movie that everyone's anticipating. You know, Harrison Ford as Thunderbolt Ross is really cool, and I can't wait to see Red Hulk in the MCU finally.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, I think the movie will be good, and I think it deserves to be most anticipated, well, on my list anyway. But I think obviously the story will go well. Maybe people didn't really enjoy Falcon and the Winter Soldier that much, but I think it was a good way to start off Captain America, Sam Wilson in the MCU, and I can't wait to see where his story goes.
Yeah. I was going to put it at number 5 as well, but I thought I'd leave it for you because I had a feeling you were going to put it there,
Yeah,
so that we could talk about more. And like you said, yeah, I think it's going to be really good because it's going to be a completely new design for Captain America because he hasn't got the super soldier serum and he's got a wingsuit. Whereas Captain America was more based on him only with the shield and his super strength, and now they've got loads of different things they can incorporate in it. So I think they could do a really good job. But I just hope, like you said, they don't do too many cameos to overdo it.
yeah. I don't know if how I feel about Bucky being in it. Obviously, he was good in the show, but I just
Yeah,
with him being in Thunderbolts, I just think it wouldn't really make. I think actually, if it sets up him for the Thunderbolts, I think it makes sense, but not for the
yeah,
whole story. I think if it was for the whole story, I think people would be more focused on Bucky than they would be Captain America.
yeah. I think if Bucky's going to be in it, they need to give him a reason. Maybe he does something bad or something, and that's why he joins the Thunderbolts. But
Yeah,
I don't think he should be in it as one of the main characters.
yeah,
Maybe he's in it at the start, and then he does something that leads him into the Thunderbolts or something like that.
yeah. So what do you have at number five?
Number 5, I have Secret Invasion. Now, I know a lot of people are looking forward to this, but I mean, I am looking forward to it, but I think the other ones on the list are just going to be better, in my opinion. I'm just excited to see how many people are actually going to be Skrulls. There's rumours that Rhodey's going to be a Skrull.
Yeah.
What's his name? The guy from Eternals, the funny cameraman.
Oh,
Just stuff like that.
Karen, whatever his name was.
Yeah. And also, I'm excited to see Nick Fury again. It's been a while.
Yeah,
Obviously, we saw him in Far From Home, but that wasn't actually him. So, and like seeing what he's been up to, and same with Monica Rambeau and stuff.
yeah. I think Monica's going to be pretty cool in that. To see her in that because
Yeah,
obviously we know we're going to see her in the Marvels, but I think Monica will be a cool character because we don't really understand her powers yet. Obviously, we see her get her powers in one division, but they're not really explained.
yeah.
I think it'll be Secret Invasion will explain that pretty well.
I think also the situation with the Skrulls from Captain Marvel. I think seeing how that's gonna go from, how kind of friendly they were to Captain Marvel at the end,
Yeah,
to them being the villains in the Marvels. So I think it's going to be a really good setup for the Marvels and the rest of the MCU. And Armor Wars. If Rhodey is a Skrull, where's he been all this time? Stuff like that.
yeah.
So, what is your fourth most anticipated Phase 5 project?
But number four, I had what you had number five is Secret Invasion.
Yeah,
I do think Secret Invasion is going to be good. Like you said, there is going to be characters that we probably didn't expect would be Skrulls, like Rhodey. I know Armor Wars is coming out after Secret Invasion, but I think they can still do that with him being a Skrull. But either way, there's going to be some big characters in that that are going to turn out to be Skrulls. I think Maria Hill could potentially be a Skrull, but then again, we did see in um, at the end of Far From Home in the post-credit scene that she did turn back to us, well, from Maria Hill into a Skrull. So
yeah,
I don't know. I think this show is going to be really good. It's going to explain stories that got cut off, I guess, from Far From Home, like in the post-credit scene, and Captain Marvel that we didn't really get explained. And I think just the overall story of, you know, finding out who could be a Skrull is going to be just be really cool. Overall, though, I think Secret Invasion could have been its own like whole saga because in the comics it's literally a whole comic book run. It's not
Yeah.
just one comic book. So I think it could have been a whole saga because Super Skrull as a villain would have been really cool. So yeah, I think I'd rather have seen it as a saga after probably the multiverse saga. But then again, I think Secret Invasion as a 6 part thing is going to be really good because this is obviously supposed to be a crossover event as well. So I think Avengers are going to be in this as well. So this could probably be the setup for the Avengers as well. Maybe before projects that we're going to see him in after this, which probably be a Kang Dynasty and all the other projects we're supposed to see them in.
Yeah.
I think they could probably make an appearance in, like I said, with Captain America, but I think Secret Invasion is it's literally supposed to be a crossover event, so I think it makes more sense for Avengers to be in that. So yeah, I think Secret Invasion is a project that I'm really excited for, and I think it's going to have a really good story. Like you said, seeing Nick Fury again is going to be
Yeah.
really cool because we haven't seen him since Captain Marvel. Well, I mean, Far From Home, but we haven't seen him properly since. Well, I can't remember the last time we actually properly saw him in
Probably
for
Endgame
a
or
long
something
amount
like
of
that.
time. Yeah. So yeah, I can't wait to see him actually properly back in the MCU, and yeah, that's why I have it at number 4. So what do you have at number 4?
Number 4, I have Blade. Simply because the post-credit scene in Eternals got me hyped about it. I didn't actually watch the old Blade movie, but I think it's going to be a really good way to introduce possibly the Midnight Suns. There could be
Yeah,
a bunch of appearances in here with Black Knight, like I said, from Eternals, and possibly Doctor Strange coming in, and obviously Morbius. We got to see him at some point. But yeah, I don't really have an explanation hugely, but I just am really looking forward to it, just because I feel like it's gonna add such an awesome character to the MCU.
yeah, I can understand Blade being there because I think he is going to be a really cool character. Obviously, he got teased at the end of Eternals, like you said,
Yeah.
with the post-credit scene with the Blade calling out to Dane Whitman, was it?
Hmm.
Yeah, I think it. I think he'll be a cool character in the MCU. We've already seen the start of, I guess, the supernatural side of the MCU with Moon Knight and Werewolf by Night as well. So I think Blade is just going to increase that. And Kevin Feige has said himself that he does want to expand the supernatural side of the MCU more. So with season 2 of Moon Knight, that will do it. Like you said as well, Midnight Suns. So it would make
Yeah.
sense for that. So yeah, I think that would be a really good project. To be honest, I did forget about it, but I still think it. Like when you mentioned it, I think it's going to be a really good project.
So what is that third on your list?
The third is Loki season 2. I think in other people's lists, this could probably be higher than what I have it.
Yeah.
But the other two that I have above this, I'm probably going to enjoy more than Loki season 2. But overall, I'm going to enjoy Loki just as much as the other two because I feel like we're going to see a lot in the second season, and we're going to see a lot more than we did in the first season. More Kang variants, more Loki variants as well. I think the thing that ruins it though is that the villain is supposed to be, I think, a Sylvie variant, which doesn't really make sense if Sylvie is supposed to be a variant of Loki. So I
Yeah.
don't really know about that, but I don't think there's going to be a set villain, I guess, though, because Kang is probably going to be the big one of this season of Loki. But overall, I think it's going to be really good seeing different locations in the MCU again. I guess seeing the TVA as well is going to be really cool because
Yeah.
this isn't the only time we're going to see the TVA again because the TVA is rumored to be in Deadpool 3 as well. So I think that's going to be really cool to see. But yeah, I think Loki overall is a project that every MCU fan is excited for in Phase 5 because of who's supposed to be in it and all these different Kang variants we're going to see. And
Yeah.
yeah, I haven't got much more to say about this one because I think it's a pretty obvious that it's going to be on probably both of our lists because everyone loved the first season of Loki and season 2 is probably going to be a lot better than the first season. So
Yeah.
that's why I had it third. So what do you have in third?
Obviously, I'll talk about Loki season 2 when I get to it. But at number 3, I have Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. It's probably interchangeable between number 2 and number 3, but I think it's just number 3 because I thought of it first when making the list. And I'm mainly looking forward to it because there's so much speculation over who's going to die. Like, for example, Drax. Dave Bautista has already talked about him dying and ending his career as Drax. And also, it's been rumoured that Rocket Raccoon's going to die because, the big villain is the right person who made him. And just stuff like that. I also have a feeling Star-Lord might die. I don't know why. I just get that feeling. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I just love the Guardians altogether. Also, I really enjoy the new design of Groot that we saw in the holiday special, which I definitely watched at Christmas, I promise, not today. But yeah, so in second place, what have you got?
So second, I've got what you literally just said in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. I think it's a very anticipated movie for everyone because
Yeah.
from the trailer we got, it's going to be probably the most emotional MCU movie. I think, like you said with Rocket as well, I think this movie is going to be based on him. I think this movie is going to be just solely his movie, I guess, because with the other Guardians films, we've seen the second one was more about, I guess, Star Lord with his dad. The first one was more about, I guess, them all together, and the third one is probably going to be about Rocket, but I guess all of them as well again because it's going to be the last one. So I think that the whole team is going to change after this, like you said. I'm not sure if Star Lord will die, but I think the High Evolutionary as the villain is going to be really cool to see because, well, from the trailer, he just looks really cool. His design, suit design looks really cool, and yeah, like you said with Groot, I think Groot looks really cool as well. From the Guardian special. But yeah, the story from this is going to be I think it's going to be a really good movie overall, and I think it's going to be a different villain from well a different sort of villain from what we've seen. High Evolutionaries, he is a very very sinister villain in the comics, so I can't wait to see what they do with him in this movie.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just overall think this movie is going to be really good. Obviously, very sad as well, but I think Adam Warlock as well. I think he's going to be obviously a big important character to the future. He doesn't have an Infinity Stone like he did in the comics, but I think whatever they do with him is going to be really cool because obviously Will Poulter is playing him, and I think Will Poulter is a really talented actor. So yeah, I think overall Adam Warlock is going to bring a lot more to this story as well because
Yeah.
I think he's going to play a big role in the multiverse saga, and that's why I have this at second. So what do you have at second?
I have Daredevil Born Again at number 2, just because the Netflix show was amazing. No Way Home, he was cool in the 5 seconds he was in that, and then
Yeah,
again She-Hulk. I really liked him in She-Hulk. It's just I think he was ruined by
that
the
was the
show.
only bright spark about She-Hulk.
Yeah, that's the only thing that I actually liked about it. The only thing that I'm worried about with the show is that She-Hulk might be in it, and I know it probably sounds bad. I never want to see She-Hulk again, but it's true. It's just I don't want to see her again. But
True.
I kind of want Daredevil Born Again to just kind of focus on Daredevil. Maybe it's about before She-Hulk. Maybe it's about what he was doing, like before No Way Home and stuff like that. And I'm also excited because it's going to bring back Wilson Fisk, who we saw in Hawkeye, um,
Yeah.
and possibly even Spider-Man, a team up between Daredevil and Spider-Man. But I guess we'll just have to wait and see for that. But yeah, that's why I have Daredevil at number 2. Okay, so for your most anticipated Phase 5 project, what have you got?
Okay, taking the victory spot is Thunderbolts.
Yeah,
I think Thunderbolts is it's just a movie that I can't wait for. Seeing characters that I really love, like Yelena. I think Bucky's going to be cool, like I said earlier. I think it's going to be a bit confusing seeing him in this film, seeing from what we sort of him having his redemption arc in that show. So it's going to be interesting to see how he makes his way into the Thunderbolts.
yeah,
The early script sounds really cool for this film as well, with Sentry being the main villain. I think whatever they do with him is just going to be really cool. I think bringing Tiamat back, for obviously the island that's literally sticking out of Earth that no one's really mentioned, makes sense for the MCU because it
yeah,
also links Eternals into the main story. Obviously, with them trying to get, I think it was adamantium from there, because obviously there's rumors that they could turn it into Genosha like they do in the comics, which is X-Men based. So yeah, I think Thunderbolt sounds like a movie that is going to bring a lot to the MCU, not just for the multiverse saga, but for I guess for the mutant saga as well. That's reportedly coming after the multiverse saga. But all the characters that are going to be in this are just really cool. Taskmaster can redeem. I think they can redeem Taskmaster in this film from what they did to her in Black Widow. I just don't think she was a very interesting character in Black
yeah,
Widow. Uh, Red Guardian. I know people are saying that it's going to be like a Black Widow sequel, and I guess it sort of is, but that's just because half the characters are from it. I don't think all these people getting annoyed that they've said that it's going to be like a sequel. I don't think it's meaning that it's going to be exactly like a sequel, but I guess because there's so many characters from Black Widow, it's going to feel like a sequel to the first one.
yeah,
But overall, I think Thunderbolts is just going to be a really good movie. It sounds really good, with Red Hulk coming into it as well, which is obviously going to be set up from Captain America 4. But yeah, there's a lot of characters in this film. Val, I think this has been set up for a while now. Val has been trying to set this up, like we recently saw in Wakanda Forever. She is starting to get her villain status, I guess, or
yeah,
whatever she's trying to do in the MCU. And yeah, I just think all these Thunderbolt characters, they I guess need some more character development, and I think this movie's going to do that really well. We've only seen Yelena in Hawkeye. We haven't seen many other characters that much. Ghost, we haven't seen her that much. So the only character I'd say we've seen a lot of is Bucky in the
yeah.
Thunderbolts. So yeah, that's why I have it at my top spot. I just can't wait to see this movie when it comes out. So what do you have for your top spot?
So I didn't put Thunderbolts on my list because I thought you would. So I thought we could talk about more projects. But quick question: is Ghost actually going to be in the Thunderbolts or not? I can't. I don't actually know.
Shut up. Enough of that.
Yeah. Okay. So at number one, I have Loki season two, and that's just because I'm so excited to see how they, talk about it, like with Kang and all of that, while
Yeah.
still bringing in like another villain that they can deal with in the show. Like you said, it might be a Sylvie variant, but I also saw that apparently they're going to be like getting together TVA legends and trying to sort out the multiverse at the same time, um,
Hmm.
or
That
something
sounds
like
pretty
that.
cool.
Yeah, so I think that would be cool. Bringing in like specialized TVA agents to go and try sort things out. And I also want to see how they rebuild Loki and Morbius, because not Morbius, sorry, Mobius. They've got the same names. They're both as cool as each other. But yeah, as we know at the end of season one, they don't know who. Well, Mobius doesn't know who Loki is, and I'm looking forward to seeing how they kind of rebuild that relationship to how it was, or if they reapproach it in a different way. I'm also excited to see Sylvie and how she's dealing with the fact that she just absolutely messed up the multiverse just for a bit of revenge.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm really excited for Loki season 2, and that's why it's at number 1 for me. So we also each have an honourable mention that we're still excited for, but we didn't put on our list. So what is your honourable mention?
So my one is Ironheart. I think I just
Yeah,
watched Wakanda Forever again as it did come out today. Well, whenever this comes out, it did come out 1st of February, on Disney Plus. But I think Ironheart is just a really cool character from what we saw in Wakanda Forever. Do I think that she should have been in that film? I don't think they needed really to have her in that movie because I think Ironheart would have explained it really well. But
yeah,
I think having her in that film is just really good for the story. I just think her in that movie, her suit looked really cool. Her character, she's funny but not too funny. She's serious. So she's sort of like Tony Stark. She's got that comedic side to her, but she is very serious as well,
yeah,
which I think everyone is excited for. She's not following in Tony Stark's footsteps, but she kind of being like Tony Stark, which we also wanted to see. Ironheart sounds like a really good show because it's rumored that Robert Downey Jr. could come back to play an AI version of Tony, which does happen in the comics. So I would
yeah.
be very excited to see that. Um, I think Ironheart as well. I think the villain's supposed to be a sorcerer or something. I think Mephisto's supposed to be in it, which has been going
Like
a
every
rumor.
other project ever.
Yeah, Mephisto's rumored to be a villain for like every project. Well, mainly WandaVision when it first came out, but
Yeah.
yeah, I think Mephisto this time. I think he's supposed to be in it, and I think it'll be really cool to see. But yeah, I just can't wait to see more of Ironheart. I guess she could be in the Young Avengers. I'm not too sure yet though, because I did explain that in my video about the Avengers, who the new Avengers team could be. She is fairly young, so it would make sense for her to be in the Young Avengers. But then at the same time, she is very smart. But I guess the main Avengers do have Shuri, who is also very smart. But yeah, I think Ironheart is a show that's going to be really good. I think every fan is excited for it. I think it's a show that deserves to be most anticipated, but I just feel like the ones I have on my list, I'm just more excited for, which is why obviously have her in my honorable mention. I have that show as my honorable mention.
Yeah.
But yeah, what do you have as your honorable mention?
Obviously, I'm really excited about Ironheart as well, but my honourable mention is the Marvels, just because I'm excited to see, how, because from the Miss Marvel post-credit scene at the end, where we see Captain Marvel, kind of swap places with Kamala, it's kind of
Yeah,
confusing, and I'm excited to see how that's resolved and like what happened. It's believed it's a wormhole, so now Kamala's stuck in space where Captain Marvel is. But yeah, I'm really excited to see Captain Marvel first of all come back. We haven't seen her since, what was it, Endgame? Well, Shang-Chi post-credit scene.
yeah,
And who knows? Maybe they found the other bangle and it made her just teleport there, something like that, maybe. But yeah, I'm really excited to see how that happens, and also with Monica Rambeau and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm really excited to see that. So that's our top 5 most anticipated projects for Marvel Phase 5. Thank you for watching all the way to the end. If you did enjoy, please like, subscribe, turn on post notifications, and also comment your top 5 most anticipated Marvel Phase 5 projects in the comments. And we'll see you soon with another video.